Two dogs on a mission, television gold, ain't no intermission. Wild antics, blanks got the crowd all wishing. Laughter's currency, big fame, the commission. Rusty in the corner, players wild and whack. Tim in the front, comedy never lack. Studio chaos, keep them all on track. Smash hit moments, all stripping from the mat. Tim and Rusty run the show, ain't no stopping. Every episode, side splitting, jaw dropping. Laughs on tap, steady beat, steady knocking. Fame train rolling, never gonna be flopping. Tim spitting jokes like a pro magician's wand. Rusty bringing back up, both tight like a bond. Audience cracking up from dusk until dawn. Comedy duo, yeah, that's the unbreakable bond. Shenanigans break the fourth wall, candid confessions. Each episode a lesson in laughter professions. From pratfalls to epic rants, never second lessons. Tim and Rusty Rachel.
This is Rusty the Ref. I'll be joined here shortly by the voice Tim Miner. Your referee is Jesse Fields. The big man in the singlet is Tyler Thorne, and he is taking on Landon Bradley, the PWA Southern Heavyweight Champion. This is not for the belt, I don't believe. That's my understanding. Landon's accompanied by the human wrecking ball, Austin Cruz, on the outside of the ring. Collar and elbow tie up right in the middle of the ring. Justin Fields all over it, break it up. We have got three second-generation wrestlers here. Landon Bradley, Tyler Thorne, and Austin Cruz. Matter of fact, Austin has a whole plethora of people in his family that's been in and out of the wrestling business. Another Thorne got him in the corner. No clean break there. He gave a thudding slap chop to the chest. Bradley went out of the ring, nursing those 5 whelps on his chest. His big buddy Austin is comforting him. I'm telling you, this makes a great tag team. Austin Cruz and Landon Bradley, but this is the tag match. Well, not for Tyler Thorne. Jesse Fields got him back in the ring. got him back in the ring. Tyler Thorne is a super athletic guy, particularly for his size. Collar and elbow tie, back landed up into the. Oh, missed that. Oh, Landon gives him his own chop. Tyler didn't feel it, so he says. Uh-oh. Oh, Landon made the mistake of making the big dog mad. I'm not exactly sure, but I would think Tyler is getting up close to 300 pounds. What do you think, Tim Meyer? 250, 300? At least 250. And he can turn cartwheels and come off the top rope, tilt the whirls. He can do all that. I hope you get to see it. Landing on the outside of the ring, trying to break the count. Those were some devastating chops.
I don't think he's good.
Landon back in the ring. Look at his chest. Look at Landon's chest. Wow. It just was. Wow, just one big red spot with blood coming to the surface. Well, Landon has put more than one big man down. He has wins over all sizes, shapes, and styles. But Tyler Thorne as well. And he does have that big body advantage. Oh, what a thudding blow.
So it reminds you of Austin Cruz.
I was just thinking that would have made a real good match too. Tyler Thorne and Austin Cruz, arm drag takedown. But I didn't want to say that because this is a good match too. Any match Landon Bradley's in is good. Now, for some reason, these people don't seem to care for him anymore. He just got tired of going against establishment and lost about 3 matches in a row, so he joined up with a group called Future Over Feelings. I used to call it Team Star. Matt Starr, Austin Cruz, and sometimes others. Oh! That's a 10!
He took out Austin Cruz pretty well.
Yeah, Austin caught him. You don't think Austin's going to beat on him now, do you? I mean, we've seen Austin hit his own. Incoming! That sliding drop kick to both men. Tyler Thorne celebrating. I think he made the mistake. He has now entered Austin Cruz into this match. He was doing all right with Austin Cruz, just cruising around on the outside, but now you have attacked Austin Cruz, first with his little buddy, and then second with your big foot. And you don't want the reckoning of the wrecking ball. But that quickness.
Oh, the wrecking ball held him down.
Yeah, and the quickness of Landon. He takes advantage of every opportunity. Jesse telling him to get over there in the corner. Landon said, my mama didn't put me in the corner and you're not going to. So in the meantime, we couldn't get a good shot of it, but Austin Cruz was doing some dastardly deeds to Tyler Thorne. It's your fault, Tyler Thorne. You brought him in this match. Had you not brought him into this, he'd still be standing over there in the corner, minding his business, cheering his little buddy on. Wow. Once again, look at Landon's chest. D to the face there. Fields asking Thorne, do you have a concussion? Can you go on? Draped over the top. That's a good shot right there. Yeah. You saw the viciousness. That is one thing.
Oh, a cheap shot there by Austin Cruz.
Thorne brought this on. Tyler Thorne should have left Austin lollygagging around over there on the side, flirting with the women. Now he's brought him in, and he's got somebody his size beating on him. And, you know, some people get all disturbed about this. I think in terms of if you knew anything about, Tyler caught that. If you knew anything about Future Over Feelings, you would have had somebody in your corner. Power slam. Two count. I love how he caught Bradley in the air. He used to be Brandon, didn't he?
No.
Just the name I called him?
You can't call everybody every other name than what their name is.
Well, you know.
He used to be Chase Bradley.
Yeah, Chase Bradley. I don't know if you've noticed, but Chase Bradley, a.k.a. Landon, has got a haircut. He got a ball cut. And I think it made him a little bit meaner. Austin Cruz got the worst of something over here. Beautiful elbow drop. I thought it was going to be a moonsault. Still beautiful. Out goes Tyler. Paybacks are coming from Austin Cruz. He blocked it. And Tyler Cruz is laying it to Tyler Thorne. Lay it to Austin Cruz. Threw him into that far turnbuckle, or rather ring post. See, Jesse James being security tonight. Landon missed that elbow drop as Tyler came in. Clothesline. Back elbow. Duck under by Landon. Whoa! Sidewalk slam. 2 count. And Jesse Fields is proud of that too. And the crowd yelling, "Go, Tyler, go!" Good crowd here tonight. I'll run the camera by it if the action slows down.
Big chin buster.
Oh, I love it. 2 count. Okay, let's just look over here at the crowd tonight. Good crowd for Friday night at an independent wrestling show. And then there's a bunch in front of me on the other side. I'd estimate about 150. Uh-oh. Belly to back suplex, or is that a tabletop? I guess tabletop suplex. Cruz jumped up on the ring apron. We're going to do a chop block here. Nice move there by Landon. 3 count.
The tights.
And welcome to the Tim and Rusty Show, a TMTV production. I hope you enjoyed the match that we just saw that was done in PWA a couple of weeks ago. Tyler Thorne. Again, it's none other than Landon Bradley. Future over feelings, Landon Bradley. Of course, that means also you were dealing with Austin Cruz and Matt Starr and Lucky P and Mean Mike, and well, anyway, this list goes on. But nonetheless, great match. I like to watch the big man Thorne work, and I always like to watch Landon.
We didn't have a live stream last week, so we haven't even got to talk about that show. They've already had another show since we recorded that show.
Yeah.
I didn't get to make it last
here.
Friday night. I've been trying to get rid of a cough for about 2 months now.
I think you kindly got rid of it, giving it to me. But anyway,
that's fine.
I digress.
I'd rather you be coughing than me.
Hey, that's not nice.
We are on the week of Valentine's Day. I don't know why people celebrate it. It's a way overpriced.
It's a created holiday. There's reasons about it. St. Valentine, he was a Catholic priest, and he would take Valentines from someone's
it's just a holiday for people to get their feelings hurt.
He'd take them and drop them in
waste money,
drop them through prison windows for them.
Anyways,
yeah, well, you can buy candy when it goes on sale for you.
I've got plenty of candy. I'm diabetic. I don't need any candy.
You want somebody? Would you all please this Saturday night?
Saturday.
RWS.
Oh yeah, Saturday night.
Yeah. This Saturday.
Oh, I was thinking. I was like,
okay, next Saturday night.
No, this coming.
Which is this Saturday.
I thought you was going to say something about Valentine's Day. That's Friday night. Valentine's is Friday night.
I'm going to. February the 15th, 2025, at the Gallatin National Guard Armory. All of you lovely ladies and a few of you men, be sure and bring a Valentine to Tim Miner.
No, save
Don't
your
bring
money.
me anything.
I
I'm a
would
happily
rather
married
you-
man.
I
He's
would rather
single.
don't listen to him. I'd rather you take that money and visit our concession stand and buy something from the concession stand.
You can buy him something from the
Don't buy
concession
me.
stand,
I don't need
and
that.
Rico will eat it. I'm telling
Rico
you.
is not going to be there. Maybe
Well, Luke will.
Luke's
put
not
down
going to
some
be
groceries
there.
too.
Luke's not going to be there. He's got. It's Valentine's Day. He's got to go spend it with his cousin.
In Alabama or
Alabama.
Kentucky? Alabama. Well, I'm just glad his cousin's not his sister. Anyway, I digress. Speaking of which, we were looking through some old papers that my dad had written about our family tree, and it turns out that my granddad's parents,
We're brothers and sisters.
let me get it if I can get it right. His mother,
I knew you was a bit on the tardy
or
side.
my granddad's grandmother, who'd be my great grandmother. Her parents were cousins. They were first cousins, and they were married. Small mountain town. It was not. Once again, we make these jokes, but it was not all that obscure back then.
But anyway,
so
this coming Saturday
that
night, it's going
explains
down.
me.
This coming Saturday night, it's going down like your syndrome. And did I use that right that time?
I'm not sure. By the way,
I just made a Down syndrome joke about you.
you can't. Oh yeah, it's a different era. As of January the 20th, you can now actually talk. You don't have to worry about hurting everybody's feelings over a simple joke that meant nothing. Anyway,
Well, our motto used to be, if we haven't offended you, we haven't done our job.
and we backed off that a little bit, not
I
totally, a
never
little
backed
bit.
off of it.
Well, I do like your.
Through the whole thing, for the pandemic, all that stuff, I never followed any rules. I didn't wear a mask.
You had to at work.
Oh, no. At work, I worked in the back. The
Oh,
only time I put a mask on was to walk through the building and leave the building. When I was going
I
out for
did
lunch,
because I had to.
if I had to go out to the sales floor, I'd put a mask on. But other than that, when I was in the back room,
But there's a group of 3 or 4 of us there that we worked at
to
Dillard's.
be honest with you, everybody came to the back room to take their mask off.
Yeah, that's it. When we were on our breaks or just together, and after the management and stuff had left too, we'd pull our mask off just because we're already exposed, and the mask wasn't going to help anything anyway.
But I never missed church because I did all the video stuff at church, even though the churches were closed. I did everything that
didn't
normal.
get vaccinated.
When I went to Walmart one time, the lady tried to hand me a mask. I said, "No, thank you. I'm a Republican."
You should have said no, thank you. I'm sorry. It doesn't do any
And I
good.
had COVID 3 times. I never thought at any time I was going to die.
There were a few places
The
that.
last time I had
There's one time I
I
thought
was
you
told
were
I couldn't
going
come
to. You didn't come out of the house for 3 days.
no,
I brought you food and set it on the door.
I was just using that to get you to bring me food.
okay.
I was pulling on Luke. Luke does that stuff for me all the time. Gets me to go bring him food,
You,
and he's not even sick.
now
He's like, "I need food. I'm hungry."
we do
Like
understand
he's a starving child in another country. or
this
something.
was very serious for some people, but the average person was not at risk from this. Even if you got it, you weren't going to get deathly ill. But we do understand, particularly elderly people and others, that it can be very devastating. But the average person, we didn't need to do, particularly here in Tennessee, maybe in real close, where you've got 10,000 people that lives on one city block. I mean, square block. Maybe it's
I am
different.
going
but
to have to
like New York.
excuse myself for just 1 second, so you could keep talking. I've got to get something.
Hey, don't flush. They'll hear it. Anyway, so back to where I was at. Be sure to bring Tim Miner some Valentine's cards and little Valentine's boxes of candy and, all those type of things. He will really enjoy it. And he does not have any kind of steady
bring
honey
that
or
Valentine.
anything. So you are
I can
still
still
in the
hear you
mix.
talking, Rusty. You're in
He
my
did-
ear.
He doesn't care. So he doesn't really want any of you married women, but he'll take your gifts. Anyway. So,
Only if you're bringing cash.
okay, that'll work too.
I had to get the card for next week. But like I
I'm
was saying
sorry.
before, we didn't get to
Excuse
have
me a moment. It's not next week. It's
Oh,
this week.
this
It's
coming
next
Saturday.
Saturday or this Saturday, but it's not next week.
Okay, so we didn't get to do a live stream this past week because everybody was busy
We
all week
were.
long. We had things.
And sick.
I I can't remember what happened Monday. Tuesday I had basketball. Wednesday we had church. Thursday, me and Luke went to Jeff Dunham. It was a great show. It was better than the one he had last year. It was hilarious.
What the blank are you looking at? I like the old man. What's his name? Usually I know that right off. I'll think of it.
Walter.
Walter, yeah, Walter. And you said he was Mr. Trump?
He did Mr.
And
Trump.
before he's been Mr. Biden. So,
yeah. But that was a great thing. Then Friday night, you went to PWA, and I was.
Yes. You were coughing.
Somewhere coughing. And then,
you had your neighbors, by the way, downstairs.
They're just working
studio. Okay.
They're working on stuff. It's not.
I hear them.
Yet. They were hammering.
Sorry, I shouldn't have said that on air. None of your business. Who lives near Tim Miner's studio?
Anyways, so we didn't get to do a live stream last week, so we didn't get to go over the show that we just showed one match from PWA on January 31st, 2025. We had Bruiser Bob took on Larry Cooter in opening match. Bruiser Bob is just amazing.
I love him. He's a wild man. He really is. He's like Kerry Awful. You just never know what's going to happen or what he's going to do. He's got his hair sticking straight up in the air, and he doesn't even use product to do that. How do you do that, Bob? I just get up in the morning. Anyway.
And then we had Landon Bradley versus Tyler Thorne. You saw the match on there. Now, folks, I do not control the lighting there. So somebody messaged me and was like, why are the lights off? You can't see the video that well. That's not on me. If I control the lights, I'd make sure every light's on. That's why RWF, we make sure every light's on, because they tried that one time and it doesn't give you good video quality if you're going to use video.
Well, I was told by one of the honchos there, not Hensley, one of the head people there, that is trying to focus and spotlight the wrestlers in the ring. Now, when we were in SWA, we had that,
but we had no lights outside it. It wasn't the lights there on the side. Ours were right above the ring,
and there was an indentation in the roof, and all like a big square, and all along it had lights.
Now, see,
bright lights.
Later on, when Mike Porter took over the BFW Hall and had NWA main event there, he tried the same thing, but he only did one little light up there, and you could not see anything into the ring. My video that I've got from that era is so dark that you really can't. And then Mike Porter was like, well, why can't we see anything on the video that well? Well, because you don't have lights on, brother.
You know, of all of the wrestling shows we've been at, we've done, participated in, visited, whatever, that was one of those nights at that VFW Hall Porter show in Gallatin was one I remember just like it's yesterday. It was such a great night. And one reason,
Ricky Morton,
Vic the Bruiser was there.
Oh,
and Chloe, Johnny and Chloe. And that's the night he clotheslined Chloe. She literally did a 360 around his arm. And believe me, if you know Chloe, 90 pounds, you know, she's a pretty young lady, but 90 pounds would be
and
heavy.
Vic the Bruiser, what, 340?
Oh, 400? Yeah, at least. And he was Vic the Bruiser.
And then he body slammed somebody on the stage.
Joe Dirt. That's what we called it. His name was Joe. Anyway, he was their security right there on that.
He slammed him right there. So I backed up. I'm like, you can do whatever you want to do, mister.
Yeah. And then that same show, I went down during intermission. I missed one match because I went down there and Mike Porter and Tony Falk were trading stories, and each one was bigger than the other. And I don't know all of Mike Porter's ins and outs, but I know a lot of Tony Falk's. They were true.
Yeah.
They just get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's like, I can't leave this. I just wished I'd have been recording it. It'd have been so cool.
The one story I remember about Tony Falk was how the Macho Man, Randy Savage, used his dad as a promoter in Kentucky to get Tony Falk's boots from him. Do you remember him telling the story about how Macho Man Randy Savage said, "Man, I like those boots." You know, he wanted his boots. He's like, "You can't have those." So his dad, Macho Man Randy Savage's dad, used to run the promotion there in Paducah, Kentucky, in that area, and he stopped booking Tony Falk until, you know, he was like, "If he gives you those boots, I'll make sure you get booked."
Angelo Poffo.
Yeah, Poffo. There's the Poffo.
And I saw Angelo Poffo as a little Rusty, like in the lower elementary in the Indianapolis Coliseum, and he would come out like Gorgeous George, had this beautiful jacket on and two beautiful women with him. He'd strut around in the stage, and they would pull off his jacket, put in this little suit bag, and he was just mean.
If you and Tony Falk goes on to tell the story that those boots that you see, Macho Man he came out and with them on in WWF at the time. Those were the old boots of Tony Falk.
Sorry, I cut your story off. I thought it was through. Did he get them back?
I don't know if he got him back or not.
I think he did. Somehow.
We would have to get him in here and have a story time with him and find out.
Just endless. He don't like necessarily talking on the mic, but he likes talking. And once you get him going, he goes. That's
and he told us that story at T.J. Weatherby's funeral.
Yeah,
that's when he told me that story.
And he was also there when the guy got killed, Bruiser Brody. When Bruiser Brody got murdered in Puerto Rico, I believe it was. I won't tell you that story, but he was there. He knew what happened and everything. Everybody did, and yet nothing really came of that.
We had Zach Hartnell take on Rock Dog. Zach Hartnell got the win in that match.
Wasn't exactly a murder. It was a fight killing. Go ahead. Do what?
Back to the PWA show from January 31st. Zach Hartnell defeated Rock Dog by pinfall.
That was a good match. Rock Dog's always good.
Then we had Matt Starr versus Toby Farley.
Once again, you can't ask for anything better than that, except
Toby Farley won by disqualification.
Yeah. Matt used the briefcase. Lucky P was with Matt that night. And then Sean Hoodrich, the man with the snake.
With Lucky P.
Took
on LBK.
As Kevin Martin, their in and out announcer, says, the man with the largest snake in Tennessee. Anyway, I'll leave it at that.
But LBK got a pinfall win over Sean Hoodrich. Was the main event. So that was a great card. Now you went this past week. I don't know.
Let me tell you real quick. I won't go through all of the matches because they're all very good. Case Owens, he looked a lot like Kevin Owens, I thought. But anyway, he took on Larry Cooter, and Larry won. Bruiser Bob and Toby Farley. Oh, wow. Just Mr. Mean versus Mr. Crazy Mean. Toby Farley, 240 pounds of just toughness. And Bruiser Bob is just so, like I've already said, so unconventional, such a wild man. Then Kerry Awful took on a new guy that I hadn't seen, and I kept getting his name wrong, like I get guys, I know his name wrong, but Jameson Shook, Shook, and he was sort of like a LBK type wrestler. He was really good, but Kerry got the win on that anyway. Then Landon Bradley and Matt Starr. This was where it really picked up. Not that the others weren't good. Versus Johnny Bandana and Nate Starr. You remember Johnny Bandana?
Yeah, he wrestled for us at Elbow Drive.
Yeah, and came out of the crowd after being off for a couple of years because somebody didn't show up to wrestle Chris Michaels, and went in and gave Chris Michaels everything he wanted. I thought at one time.
And we had all those big names in that night, and their match was probably one of the best ones.
Yeah, it was. And nobody knew who's Johnny Bandana. Anyway, well, we knew after that. Well, he's been wrestling in PWA, and he is fantastic. Just to put him in, it looks like he's doing everything that Matt and Nate Starr do. He does it, the combination of all the stuff. He's really good. Don't want to elevate him too much up to that status because I know that upsets the hometown group. But anyway, that was a great match. And then Austin Cruz got involved in it and started beating on Nate, his brother. I think everybody knows that. You do now. Anyway, and interfering. And then out we hear the Desperado music playing. And out from the curtains comes Desperado. He's just, somebody's going to get hurt right there. He's got his hat. He's got his poncho. He's got his stick that you like to call his
boyfriend.
And that black tape stick that we've seen him hit many people with. And the first thing out, so Landon Bradley. Why is Landon? Well, no, because he's Landon Bradley. He doesn't realize that he's 170 pounds, or less. Anyway, he thinks he's as big as Larry Cooter. But anyway, he wrestled like that. Anyway, he takes off running like his hair is on fire. His seat of his pants has got firecrackers in it. After Desperado, and Desperado just very casually just holds his stick out and lands and runs into it. And he pops him with it. Okay, then somebody else ran after him. Then he came in and I thought he was going to whip all of them. He sort of all those wrestlers are his kids one way or another. Anyway, but that turned out to be a slobber knocker. And in the meantime, Nate and Matt were left in the ring, and we had, for not the whole match, but we had a Ricochet John Morrison moment. We're having all these counterpoints, missed moves, right on moves, where Matt kicks over Nate's head because he ducks under, and then Nate swings all like 360 or 380, whatever, 360, swings back, or actually 380 because he kept on going, and misses Matt's head and miss each. Then they kick and block with their feet, and it was great. Anyway, I'll post that match on my site, and you can see it. Escobar may put it on the Pro Wrestling Alliance, but it was a great match. And what really made it for me, I think everybody was Desperado. Half of his kids were there, which that's about 30 or 40 people. And then half his kids and grandkids. Then to follow that up, how you gonna do that? Honcho Hensley and LBK, they've been battling back and forth. It's for the Southern Heavyweight title. Actually, last week you were there, I believe it was. LBK won. It's a pile driver match because that's Hensley's move. So he won that, but that's 3 weeks ago. Honcho Hensley left. He wasn't there last week, 2 weeks ago. So he left with the belt. He got thrown out of the building, actually. He took the belt with him. So he brought it back. They had this match. They went back and forth with each other. You could not, once again, two totally different body styles, two totally different styles, but what a match. But the way it ended was what got it. Right over to if you're right in the middle of the stage, you look this way, and there's set LBK's family. A couple of big old boys that make Honcho look small stood up and threw their chairs in the ring at Honcho. It's like, whoa, we need some security over here. And next thing I know, they're getting people up and throwing more chairs. And then guys over here, he's some part of Drew Weatherby's family or his group. He starts throwing chairs in. And then some little old lady over here that was not related to any of them, she threw a chair in and hit the ropes and bounced back. It almost hit some fans. It was like, LBK was already going out of he told me later, I was going out of the ring to get, to help whoever that chair hit. Fortunately, it didn't. And then he went over and helped people throw chairs in. It was like when Terry Funk and ECW, they covered Honcho with chairs. Once again, there's some great pictures.
You got that on video?
I do. Got it on video, and also got some pictures of it later. And Robert McCullough sent me some real good pictures of LBK standing on top of the chairs on top of Honcho, holding up the belt. It was how did you top the comeback of Desperado and the great action? All of those guys did, particularly the Star Brothers, but at the same time, Johnny Bandana and Landon were out of this world too in that match. But anyway, they did. They brought it right up to a climax, to a crescendo. I'm got to go back and watch it again.
Burkhan wants to join in here with some bad news. The Gallatin girls lost to Green Hill tonight, 73-9 in basketball. That's no big thing. Gallatin girls are not very good this year.
Why didn't you break in to give
me the score of the boys' game?
We were just on a high. What's wrong with you, Brian? Did you get any pictures of it?
His son goes to Green Hill, so his
son is the one that's in college. He's a wrestling champion.
He was a wrestler for Green Hill. Now, for those of you that watched the Super Bowl Sunday, that was an embarrassing game for Kansas City for the first half.
What I usually say is they shouldn't even been there.
The whole game, it was wasn't close at all. A lot of people watched for the halftime show. And there's been I've read where the halftime show dude is banned for life from the NFL doing any shows I'm not sure if that was a true story or not.
This guy that did it,
Because he
did something personal.
Yeah, well, no, he did something, not the personal stuff. He was protesting against something else, and I'll have to look in the story up and see.
It was against. Well, he said something personal about. Was it about Blake?
Oh, yeah, about Drake. But that's
another rapper.
That's not what that he was. I'll have to look and find out. I'm not sure if it's a true story or not. But
it's very controversial.
You know how nowadays you get lies, you get false stories, fake news.
You never know. Well, most people didn't like it anyway. At least 50% or better didn't like it. I'm not into rap, but the dancers weren't really that good. The outfits they had on, you couldn't really see the moves they were making. I think they were probably really good. You barely catch a word. Of course, that's me. I understand. I'm an old man who doesn't listen to rap very often. He couldn't catch a word.
You don't listen to rap ever. Luke was rapping with him.
No, he didn't hear a thing either. And he speaks rap.
Luke speaks rap. Is
he
that
didn't hear anything because he's playing video games and wasn't listening. But anyway, it just was. And he
watched the halftime show.
I almost guarantee. I hesitate to say this. I don't want to offend any of my friends out there, but I'm almost positive toward the beginning he used the N-word, and I'm just totally against anybody. I don't care who you are, what race you are, don't use that word. If all of us can't use it, nobody can use it, and that could just hair lip everybody. There you go. Now I've offended you.
Okay, this coming.
I mean to take up for you.
This
anyway,
coming Saturday night, RWF Wrestling in action, and it is going to be a slobber knocker of a show. These are not in any particular order. Only thing we do know that the main event is Malachi versus LBK.
We do want all of you wrestlers to show up, though. Okay. Yeah. Be sure
Malachi versus LBK in the main event, and that's going to be one that we've anticipated since Malachi turned on LBK 2 months ago.
He choke slammed him 10 feet up in the air.
And I'm sure LBK is wanting to get back at him. We also still have Matt Starr taking on Sean Hudgens for that RWF heavyweight title.
And this is his last go around, isn't it?
It's going to be his last shot. He needs to get a victory, or he's probably
the hometown hero. No matter.
Then we have King James and Preston Adams. I've got a special tag team that they're going to face. Dewey Barnes is going to take on Nate Starr.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to that. I've got a write-up already. We hadn't published it in That's a 10, our newsletter, and I'll also put it online. But that's going to be a good one. You've got two guys very similar backgrounds and yet totally different backgrounds. It's second generation wrestlers. It's going to be good.
And you have Blackthorn and Psycho Medic going to team up and take on Classic Man and a mystery partner. And it's not me. I can promise you it's not me.
Kenny South?
No, Kenny South turned on. Why would he be on the side of?
Well, he was on your side originally.
He's turned his back.
Jason Insanity—he's got a brace on his leg, so he can't do it. He can't do much anything for a year. I can't figure out who it is.
We have Kenny South versus.
Is Desperado coming out of retirement? He'd be a good one. Mr. Wrestling number 2, the Riverman Johnny Walker.
Let me move on.
Oh, that's going to be good. They've been with SWA history together too.
We have a return grudge match between. Okay, something just went crazy.
What, your return grudge match? I think
we had some kind of interference. Then we have Drew Weatherby going to take on Adam Maddox.
That's going to be a good 2 young lines, though. Adam Maddox he's not that young, but as young as Drew, but that's going to be good. They both can do some good stuff.
And we have Austin Cruz taking on Xavier Michaels for the U.S. title.
Oh, that's another good return.
Also in action, you're going to see Larry Cooter in action. Jason Xavier will be in action. And much, much more. Rusty will be there. I'll be there. Rico's still up in the air. He's got something. He's
got another show to go to.
He's got something scheduled for work, but it could be canceled if it rains a lot. So he's hoping that it rains a lot to cancel that, and then he would be able to make it.
As long as it don't snow, and it looks like it's going to rain a lot.
There was some bad snow.
Good. We need Rico there.
In Kentucky area, there was roads shut down.
despite some of the stuff, unconventional stuff he does as your hitman referee, it's still, we need him there because can we talk? I don't think it's personal. Can we talk about when we get through
No,
here?
listen, Bruce Webb says, Rusty, make sure to go to the nursing home and pick up Tim and the Classic Man to bring them to the show. We all know that Bruce Webb's the only one that lives in the
Why do I need to
nursing
do
home.
that when Bruce, you're already there?
Yeah, we just ride with you, Bruce.
Saw Bruce Friday night. He is I don't want to tell too much of personal
Bruce,
life, but
we'll wait until Jello time is over and then we'll ride with you.
I don't want to tell too much of his personal life, but he's got a clean bill of health, so to speak.
Oh, good. I know that
Some of the major things that's wrong with him is if he comes up to our show, I think he is Saturday night, y'all talk to him, let him tell you. I'm so glad for him because
I know he was
not good.
Really sick there for a little bit.
I think we've talked about it before, but I don't know. When you get through with our program, let me know because I want to talk about John Poe. He's from last show.
Oh, that was it. I've talked about everything. So
okay, in John Poe, who was wrestling Matt Starr. John Poe, if you don't know him, he's been around about 15 or more years. He started when he was around 18 to 20 years of age, in and out back then. But he's real good. He's a high impact, high flyer type wrestler, but he's a very small man, no offense. Anyway, he took on Matt Starr, and it was a great match. I think, is one of the, it was, no offense to you, John, because I haven't seen you in 100 matches, but I've seen you in quite a few. It was the best match I've seen him wrestle. He could have beat Matt Starr several times there, just one count away or whatever. And anybody can get a victory over Matt Starr that's something. But anyway, in the way that match ended, Matt was doing some type of suplex type move, and John's foot got up underneath John, and we were looking. I'm sitting right there looking where it's at, and he landed on it, and then the 200 pounds of Matt Starr landed on it, and then kayfabe alert, Matt pinned him right quick, took it home. Then he ran over and got you and said, if you were there on the front row, you heard him and saw him. I think I broke his leg, or I think he broke whatever. And it was a very serious break. And we talked about it Friday night. I don't think he minds. He plans on showing up and hitting Matt with a crutch sometime. But he's on 2 crutches, and it was he had to have surgery, but he's doing well. And anyway, it's just got to heal up. He'll be out for at least a year. But John was one of those guys, if you called on him, he'd be there. You might not book him, but you call him, you're going to get a show. And thank you for giving that to RWF, John. I just wish you hadn't got hurt. And by the way, he helped me with commentary Friday night on PWA. And don't know if you know it. Usually, if I'm not with Tim, I'd rather just do it myself. Maybe have occasionally somebody come in and say something, but he did very well. And when you enjoyed it, it was really good. So I'll post those probably after this week.
Oh, me. So anything else?
This week is RWF week.
This week is RWF week.
Yeah.
I've been on vacation this week. So took a little trip today to Columbia.
Oh.
Just to eat at Long John Silver's because that's the closest one to us.
I thought there's one up in Kentucky we used to stop at.
But it's not. It's farther away than
okay.
Columbia.
Oh, wow.
So me and Luke took a little trip. I even bought extra to go. Luke said I was fat for buying extra chicken.
You've lost like 80 pounds or something.
Tell him that.
Not 80, but 50, hadn't you?
Yeah. Tell him that.
If
you see a picture of me 6 years ago, I was fat.
Me and your mom.
I wasn't really fat. I was just big.
Me and your mom think you need to put on a pound or two. That's his mom's not my wife, but I just know her. We go to church together. He think you might need to put on a pound or two, but anyway.
I need to lose about another 20 pounds. Anyways, but
You're going to be the size of Luke if you weigh 20. No offense.
No.
It looks good on Luke, but it ain't going to look good on you.
but anyways,
Oh, it might make your mama like you more.
yeah, I got some chicken to go from
Chicken?
I got Long John Silver's for the chicken. They're chicken planks. They're beer battered chicken planks, and they're great. Why do we not have a Long John Silver's closer to Nashville and Gallatin area?
You
Come on,
drive
folks.
An hour and a half. Is that how long it is?
Yes, an hour
and a half to Columbia to go to a Long John Silver's, and you get chicken.
Yes.
You walk. You drive.
You know what? Luke forgot to order his cheese curds while we were there.
You drive by
Yeah,
KFC.
I'm the fat one.
That's just a few miles. Not even two. It's a mile from here.
But
You
know what?
drive by Popeyes. You drive by
There-
Slim Chickens.
It's a different.
Cane's.
It's the chicken planks are hit. There's something different about a chicken plank.
Bojangles.
There's something different about a chicken plank from Long John Silver's. I'm sorry.
Zaxby's.
There's
It's
something
all-
different about a chicken plank from Long John Silver's.
Yeah, and that is they're not fish.
Yeah, that's the
They're
good
not-
thing about
that's
it.
the difference. They're not fish.
I do miss it being right next to Rivergate. Remember when Long John Silver's was there?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and they were. They also had the A&W
Root beer.
root beer, the A&W extra type of food there. They had hot dogs and
Oh, yeah,
hamburgers.
I'd go in there and I'd get the frosty mug, root beer, and my chicken planks.
So let's take a trip down memory lane. We're going to Terry England's show. What is that? U.S.
UCW.
I never could get it when we worked for him. Anyway, we were going up to UCW. Is that the place that you had the big teepees there that you could spend the night in?
Yeah.
And that's on the way. And that's one of the places we stopped. I think it was in that city that we stopped to get the chicken or close to it. Not where you stopped to get the chicken, stopped at Long John's. And I always thought, and we talked about it every time, Tim, we need to come up the night before and spend the night in one of those gigantic teepees. They're hard, like,
They have like air
stucco.
conditioners in the window too.
Yeah. There's probably air conditioner heaters. Anyway, I just love to have done that. I guess I still could.
They have them down the road here now too. Have you seen at that new place going across the bridge? Used to be where Reba lived.
Yeah.
There's a big restaurant there, but they have the teepees over there too, where you can sit.
Oh, you can actually stay?
I think so.
Well, maybe I should do that rather than
Yeah, you go down, you go stay there and tell me how it is.
actually. I know it's a long way and all that, but it's always a good show. I'd like to go to another Terry England show. He always had fun shows and
Was
good
that
shows.
That shot that ball.
So
I'm watching a basketball game.
when not a real one, the Kentucky was beating Tennessee by 3 points when I came in. I imagine the game's over now. It's 50-47 in men's basketball. So when Terry England puts us in his Hall of Fame, then we'll go back up there and we can eat at Long John's. We'll take you some Long John's chicken. Tim will get you some chicken. I'll get you a little fish. You can have both, the mixed meal. Anyway. Okay. I do miss Terry. He was a good guy.
I miss Long John Silver's more than I miss Terry.
Well, once again, you go
I'm
back to
sorry.
things you remember. One of the matches
The thing I remember about Long John Silver's is like when we were kids, when I was a teenager,
Yes.
our family would always take a trip during the summer and we would go to Beach Bend Park
Yeah.
and we always stopped at Long John Silver's along the way.
So that's like a bus was coming in when all you
Oh,
got
yeah. I
loaded
remember,
up.
I remember my
9
dad going to
kids?
Crystal's years ago. My dad going to Crystal's and going through the drive-thru and saying, I need 48 Crystals. And the people were like, what? Why do you need? Didn't realize that the man had 8 kids and his wife. I mean,
And
my
some,
mom only had 9 kids in 13 years.
and some of them were big boys at that time, weren't they?
We were,
I mean, you've got a brother that's old enough to be your dad.
yeah. Well,
Wayne, is it?
well,
Well, he's probably, 15, 20 years older than you?
he's not that old. That's old. Well, he's in his 60s.
Okay, he's old enough to be, say,
He's old enough to be not my dad because I'm in my 30s.
he's old enough to be Kevin or Jason's. No offense to any of you. I'm just thinking that you probably had some people that could eat more than 1 or 2 crystals.
But I remember going to Long John Silver's and ordering all these chicken planks. We'd have like boxes of chicken planks. And I remember us also getting pulled over in Bowling Green,
Too many people in the car.
No, back then it didn't matter. But we were sitting in the back of the station wagon everywhere. But my dad was speeding, got pulled over by a Kentucky state trooper one time. I remember that.
Did you get excited about him going to jail?
Oh, he didn't go to jail. He just got it. Actually, I think he talked his way out of it.
He said, "I'm just in a hurry to get rid of all these kids." Standout match. There's a lot of them, but some of them it was Terry. He didn't even remember this match, I don't think, when I told him. Terry England and Chris Michaels, and I believe it was up in Bowling Green or Franklin. And it wasn't a Christian James show. It was before that. Matter of fact, I think it was a Terry England show. But anyway, we were down there, over there, and they had a match, and most of that match was comedy. It was different things they did or didn't do to each other. They spent more time one or the other outside of the ring than inside the ring. It was I just loved it. Of course, a lot of people criticize that type of match.
Now you didn't go.
No, you had the crowd, and it was hilarious, and you did some good wrestling too.
You didn't go with me back in that old garage that JW Wildfire used to have a show in Bowling Green, Kentucky. I don't remember. The video I have didn't have you there as commentary with me.
I went to place before we're Big Papa the night that they had the people that the women pulled their clothes off or had a wet T-shirt contest.
Oh yeah, that's.
I've been to that place, but not that night.
Yeah.
And Anthony Wayne got in trouble that night with his wife.
But that place, it was like
he didn't really do anything.
JW Wildfire used to run a show like in a garage type thing, and but that was some of my most fun times because I went in there as a manager. I was a manager for Big Digger.
Yeah, I've been there, but I don't think I've done commentary with you.
And I used my golf club to choke Devon Day. That was a great thing to be able to choke Devon Day.
Who says we are the best commentating team.
God rest his soul. He was
in the business. As does Tim Scruggs says that. Does say that. I guess he still does. As Terry England says that. As Roy Shelton says that. I'm not sure Blackthorn agrees with that, but anyway, he goes along with it.
I'm sure he does.
I don't know.
If he don't want to clean the bathrooms, you better say
you are at odds. Oh no, he don't have to do that anymore. That means we're no clean bathrooms. You all bring your own wipes and stuff, and bring you a brush and a little spray bottle.
Well, it is time for us to go. Do you have any final thoughts?
Happy Valentine's Day. Oh, there is no PWA show this Friday night due to Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's what I was going to say earlier. I'm going to be spending Valentine's Day announcing basketball. We have basketball games Friday night.
So there is. You can go to Gallatin's basketball game. And Kevin Martin has got a show, the Fiesta 2 down in Nashville. Look at Kevin Martin's Facebook page. You get all the information. And site there's going to be some WWE people there. LBK is
that on Thursday or Friday?
That's on Thursday. And no show Friday from PWA. And then, of course, to us, no offense, the most important thing, the only thing that really matters is RWF. Saturday night. Bell time, 7:00.
Don't be going to Alabama. Don't be going to other places. You come to RWF if you want to see a good wrestling show.
And here's a little wrestlers don't double book that night. Book with us.
As long as we're priority. I don't care.
I'm being ugly here, but yeah. And now if you need to go somewhere else, Thorne will let you do whatever you need to do for your career.
Anyways,
let everybody know. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say any of that.
If we can get our producer to agree to send us out.
We've got a really good crew of cast and crew of wrestlers and backup and help and everything.
Well, until next time, this is the voice Timothy Miner along with
Rusty the Ref
saying good night.